There she blows. It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm glad it's gone.
So as you saw, we finally sold the Civic wagon. So now we are on to one more thing that we need to get out of the driveway, and that's the blue hatch that Raymond bought. He wants to take it home now as it is. He wants to drive it, so we need to get it ready to drive. The brakes stopped working, but as you can see, it has a new master on it. New to like when this thing was last driven. So it could be a bad master, but I went ahead and checked all the brakes, took all the tires off, and I'm pretty sure I found the issue. So coming back here to the rear brakes, which are drum brakes, I had to put 2 bolts right here to pull this off because it was stuck on the pads, and when I pulled it off, part of the pad fell off, which you can see right here, and it was also off the cylinder. So that would cause a weird brake issue. I don't see any like actual leaks. This is all just a bunch of junk in here. So I'm gonna clean it up, make sure there's no leaks. Hopefully we just get some new hardware, some new pads. And it was the same on the other side, but not as bad where these were falling off and everything. So get all the hardware, get that replaced. Hopefully the cylinders aren't bad. We don't have to go back to the parts store. We can just do the hardware. And the last thing is the valve stem seal. If y'all remember, this thing smoked pretty bad when it finally warmed up. And from taking the header off, it looks like only one port, the exhaust port, is pouring out oil. The valve looks like it's wet, so I'm pretty sure it's a valve stem seal. I'm hoping it's not like rings or anything, which if it was rings, I would think it would run worse, or it would run bad because the compression would be horrible. So to replace a valve stem seal while the head is still on the block and it's inside the car, you get some rope, take spark plug out, put the rope into the cylinder, and then fill the cylinder up with rope. So when you take the spring and the keeper and all that off the valve, it doesn't drop all the way in there and you lose it basically. So this will keep pressure up against the valve so you can get the valve seal replaced, and then the spring compressed back on and everything's hunky-dory. So let's go ahead, take that apart, get everything ready to go, get that valve replaced, and hopefully by that time Raymond should be here with all this stuff. So let's do it. So stop recording most of that process, but replace the valve stem seals on that one exhaust. It didn't seem to really help. It seemed to bring it down a little bit. It didn't like pour out as much, but still, I guess it's a ring issue, so that's fine. Raymond's trying to be swapped anyway, so it's whatever. Brakes are fixed. The rear shoes were bad. That whole like mechanism in there for the drums completely was not working, so we replaced that. Bled the brakes, good to go. It's rock solid. Now check the car over. Sit down here ready to go. I got Sydney ready to drive. Follow me over there to Raymond's house. So hopefully we make it there, no issues. I think it should be fine. We're just gonna take back roads on the interstate or anything. So let's take this thing over to Raymond's. This thing has no radio, so I need this. Sydney. All right, let's get on the road. Whoop. Gas, 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 gas. We need gas. Apparently we were already pretty full. Guess the gas gauge doesn't work. Alright, music. Let's see if we can get this thing going. There we go. Alright, let's go. Pretty solid so far. Got little Cindy behind us. Cruising, not really smoking much, just at this like small speeds, especially when you're just smadding it, is really smoked. So good car so far, fingers crossed. So we got the wagon outside, covered up in front of the other project car that y'all find out sooner or later. and what's going on inside. So the plan is to get this guy moved right here in the middle bay, and then this bay will be for the Miata when we get it back from the cage guy, and the wagon's out there covered up. The reason why I kept the wagon here is to basically take care of it. Don't want sun fade or the dash getting messed up or anything like that. So I try to keep it in here as much as I can. With these two bays having projects going on at the same time, bought that car cover for it. I've got that same car cover for the other car that's out there, and it seems to be doing good, keeping it dry and everything. And I'm pretty sure it has some UV protection in it, so that should keep everything under it pretty good, hopefully. It shouldn't be out there that long. I mean, the Miata drives, and then this shouldn't take long to get running. Fingers crossed. Shouldn't be out there that long. Regardless, let's get this car moved right here. And there we go. That didn't take me too long by myself. So if you don't remember this car, we picked this car up for Sydney, who is my wife.
This is my wife.
This is her first project car. We picked it up before she got pregnant, did a couple of videos on it. She got pregnant and we kind of lost interest for a little bit. That's why it's been stored over there for a while, because the plan for this was us to work on this together as much as we could, and I can teach her and show her things, and she can feel accomplished when this thing is finally finished and running, and she can also learn how to drive stick with it, which is good. This car is pretty cool, but also has a lot of work that needs to be done. One of the main things, if you know much about Civics, is has a sunroof, OEM sunroof. It's an SI, so good. It also does not have the stock motor in it, which I think is good. It has a glorious B18 A1, which, if you don't know, is out of a 90 to 93 Integris. So about the same kind of generational year, so it's pretty period correct. I do really like that swap, but we got something a little bit sweeter for this in the future, and that's this guy right here, the B16A. We picked that up a while ago for this car, got a hell of a deal on it, so that's coming in the future for this build. For now, we need to reevaluate where we were before this thing got stashed over there in the corner. If I remember correctly, after watching some of my old videos, we did a test drive in this, and the heater core busted and was leaking radiator fluid all in the car, which is why the whole car is stripped. Sydney cleaned the carpet, got all that nice and good, and as we were stripping it, I noticed there's a bunch of hack job wiring. Mainly thing I want to fix was the battery relocation that they did. I want to put that back to stock up here in the front for now. So that was on my list, and then basically de-junk all the other crap that someone's done in here. Mainly audio stuff, but some other stuff that they probably did. So I wanted to clean that up before we fully put the car back together in the interior. Once we do all that, I would like to go back to where we were at, and that was trying to get this motor running tip-top. If I remember correctly, we did the timing belt on it because the water pump was leaking, and I think that's about it. I know Sydney bought a bunch of stuff for this car that's been sitting over here as well, collecting dust. Turn signals, oil pan gasket, a bunch of other Rock Auto stuff. So we got a lot we can do right away for this, so I'm pretty excited, but you always got to remember the Miata comes first. Drift Week is coming soon. So when we have breaks from the Miata, we'll be doing some content on this, but don't expect videos fast on this, because me and Sydney are going to be taking our time doing this. Doing it right, teaching her, and the video's just going to go a little bit slower, which is fine. But it's out of the corner. We got it in the middle bay. It's out in the open. We can finally start getting this thing good. A little background on me. I had one of these back in high school with a B16 in it. And it wasn't an SI, but I had an SI as well. I mean, I traded a lot of cars. That's another story for another time. Maybe one day if I get real big, we'll do a Q&A and y'all can learn a little bit about me. But had an old one, B16 in it. Missed that car. Should have never traded it. It's one of those cars that I should have never gotten rid of, and I regret every day. So it's kind of like a high school reminiscence car, also a car that me and Sydney can build together. So I've been trying to not throw in my my likes into it, like the B16A, but I also am trying to guide my wife in the right way of building a Honda. So I can't wait to work on that. Side quest time. My old friend Johnny has this really nice Del Sol he picked up. Did a auto to manual, a bunch of other little things. First project car. And of course, shortly after he gets it all running, he hit a damn deer. Right in this corner is where the damage is. As you see over there, he has a front core support with the basically chopped out the front of the car. So he is drilling everything out, popping that off, and then we will be going to town on this radiator support, grinding off all the little spot welds and getting it off without hopefully mangling the frame rails and all that stuff. So let's jump into it. So he's gotten this one off. Did a pretty solid job, not all bent up. He's doing that one right there. Johnny's pretty meticulous about stuff, so always does a really good job. Okay, so we got all the old core support cut out. There's some right there, and there's a little piece right there. So we cleaned up all the spots where the spot welds were at. Johnny got a little carried away and cleaned up some other spots that are a little rusty. I tried my best to format back because we did bend this one a little bit, but this is the one that was from the damage. And I got it back pretty dang good. Got that hole right there just from it ripping out when we pulled the core support out. But we got everything weld through primer ready to go. So we got to grab the support outside, get it cleaned up and weld through primer on, and then mate them two together. We've got the main core support all ground down, got as flat as we could, all primered. This weld through primer again. Got the clamps out. I don't have many clamps, but it should work. So we'll get this thing marked up. There is one thing that's helpful. There's a 10 mil here that runs through one of these holes. I think it's that one. So you can use that to line this thing up. And then there's one right here for the bottom. So don't really need the clamps too much, but it always helps. And just like that, we got her all welded up and got some primer thrown on it to protect it. The welds aren't, you know, amazing, but it'll hold. There's a couple bad ones that I ground down, but that's okay. So now, fix the hood, put the hood latch on, throw the fenders on, and see how good it all fits. So we have most of everything on. The hood kind of was an issue. I figured out that that thing can go down and kind of over to the side. We played with the fenders a little bit, got the gap pretty good. Johnny's working on getting the rest of the stuff put together. And then we can finally see how this thing looks with all the body panels on it. But it is, I think, 1:30 in the morning. It is 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, if I didn't have a kid, I'd be all for this, but Evelyn has been getting up at 6, so I need to go inside, shower, and go to bed and try to get some sleep before she gets up, because I know Sydney's not going to be like, hey, you stayed up late, you can sleep in. That's not how that works. So Johnny's just going to stay out here, do his thing. He's pretty meticulous. He'll probably still be out here by the time I wake up. So maybe. Hopefully we'll have some resolution with this and it'll be all put together and we can finish this portion of the video out. So I'll see you in the morning. So time check, it's 10 o'clock and Johnny still hasn't slept and has been out here working. But he's gone pretty far, got everything adjusted. Got that guy right there all lined up. We just messed with the headlight, got it pretty solid. Found out he skimped out, didn't get this headlight right now, so we can't really see the full effect.
Yeah.
Well, we might be going with a one-piece headlight, but it looks pretty good once he gets done messing with the bonnet. Throw it down and kind of see the line we got going on. All right, let's see it, Johnny. Hit it with your purse.
Huh?
Hit it with your purse.
Let me put the broom down.
Open it up and then give it a little. Go a little bit harder when you go down.
I did put these on. That might be doing something at this point.
Technical difficulties. Alright, we are back. I just adjusted the hood latch up and we got it back down where we need it. So we got the line pretty damn good. There's still probably some good adjustments we could probably do. And then this side is pretty solid as well. I really can't tell the final effect till the headlight's in. Make sure that is all good and square because this is where the damage was. So, for the most part, pretty happy with the turnout. Johnny still got to do some stuff like paint that all black from all the primer and then maybe paint the whole car. So, you happy? Sick. A couple hours later, you see Johnny's still here. Johnny has not slept still. Since the last clip, he has gotten his aluminum radiator in, got that all bled, took it on a drive, got him some food and other stuff, and now he is replacing his oil pan gasket. And this is his old one. And as you can see, it's ripped right here. Velcro, not the best. Kind of taking your chances with it. So he has a Honda one now going on, and it should be good now. But I've got to go edit, so we'll leave Johnny to it and do a little checkup later.
Shut up.
Are you done yet, Johnny? You doing what?
I'm getting the exhaust on.
When did you start?
Huh?
Told you 2:12. You want to guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's 2:48.
Man, that
Yeah, I'm listening.
come on. That damn. I got down.
So, I just got done editing the video I probably watched last week, and Johnny was supposed to be done so I could hear this thing run and Pepper go drive it. I told him, said, it's 2:12, and he's like, I'll get it done fast. 2:48, still not done.
Come on.
But, I'll give him some slack because he's probably hasn't slept in over 24 hours, maybe 48 by now. He's just putting everything back together. He decided to do a short shifter real quick, and that's kind of what's eating up a lot of time. But I think after all this, he doesn't have any more parts to put on, so he can go home and fucking sleep. Okay, take 1001. Johnny Brown is finally ready for the final maiden voyage. He's already done one, but we'll do another one. You look so tired. God bless.
It is what it is.
Alright, first drive with me.
Trying to go top off? Trying to go topless?
Fuck mine, dude.
Back her out, boy.
Gotta let the oil circulate. She's old.
It's already circulated.
I gotta circulate for you. Oh, that's something I meant to fix. That's a damn exhaust rather.
Hey, big boy.
You recording?
Yeah, why? You about to say some shit?
Yeah.
You can say whatever.
Nasty file.
Just drove it, pretty solid. Some like background. I drove this thing when he first got it, automatic, kind of a turd. Drove when he first swapped it. Still pretty turdy, but it's been getting better and better and better. This is Johnny's first project car, and he's done so much, learned so much all on his own. It's pretty sick to see. I mean, he even took apart the transmission by himself because the input shaft bearing was bad. He ended up messing up with the reverse, took it all back out, took it all back together, fixed it. Pretty solid, pretty cool to see someone just diving into something and being really passionate about it. So there it is, all finished. Just check the oil pan gasket real quick, make sure it's not leaking. But side quest complete. You happy?
No.
No?